And good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here as we get set for the third race of the second season of the NNSCRA Hersheys Cup Series. We are here live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway getting ready for the running of the Cobalt Tools 400. This should be a pretty wild event. Las Vegas is a high-speed 1.5 miles racetrack, and we end up having some really high speeds and good racing here. Last year, our defending winner actually is in this field, JT Bryant in the 22, but he's going to be starting quite a ways back in the field. But for the third straight week, we have a veteran rookie front row. At Daytona, it was Joshua Michaels, James McLeod. At Rockingham, UK, it was James Qualls and Joe Rockingham. And here this week, it's Levi McIntyre on the pole position alongside of the rookie Keith Batson. It's the first time this season as well that Ford has swept the front row. Chevy has done it the past 2 weeks. We're going to be getting the command momentarily to fire up these engines. One thing that we do have to announce, though, is that there is a new driver in the 48. Now, Austin LaPlante qualified the car into this race, but midway between qualifying and today's event, LaPlante announced that he was stepping away from the 48 car. And so therefore, Sean Galligan is the new driver for Sega Motorsports in the 48 machine for the remainder of the season. So he would obviously like to be able to make his return to the Hersheys Cup Series a memorable one with a victory. Let's go down and get the command to fire him up, though, here today at Las Vegas.
Drivers, start your engines.
Now, you'll remember Sean Galligan, actually, this is not his first start in the Hersheys Cup Series. He was actually a go-or-go-home driver for Tweenix Racing in the 13 back in Season 1. The point standings coming into this race, and obviously they're still close because we've only run 2 races so far. But Cody Lamas, who finished runner-up to Zachary Fitzwater last week, he is the points leader by 3 points over Grayson Acavito. In the third position in the standings is our Daytona 500 winner Kyle Matthews. He's only 5 points back. Then you've got James Richardson. He is 4th, and 5th is Leon Alvarez. The remainder of your top 10 in points coming into this race are Brandon Gonzalez, Daniel Voiles, Jessica Shelton, last week's winner Zachary Fitzwater, and Emmanuel Hartnett. And there's somebody with trouble on the start there down the apron. Was that Zach Rogers? That is Zach Rogers. Zach Rogers on the apron going around the racetrack. Something might be amiss on the 39 car. Not certain what it would be. Doesn't look like the engine's died. He's still maintaining pace speed, but tough break there for Zach Rogers. He'll obviously be coming to pit road. Maybe they can get that thing fixed, get him out here. Maybe he can get a quick caution, stay on the lead lap. But Levi McIntyre and Keith Batson will bring him down here. 41 laps of racing at Las Vegas. We are green flag here in the Cobalt Tools 400. Levi McIntyre going to move up and block the outside line, and now Carson Scott will fill in where Levi McIntyre was, battling Keith Batson for second. First lap of the day is going to be led by the 99. Steak and Shake Ford out of Young Motorsports. Levi McIntyre pointing the way, and there you see Zach Rogers leaving pit road. Now he's going to be a lap down. He's got to hope for a caution flag or something here to help get himself back into this hunt. Tough break there for a driver that was just making his debut in the Hersheys Cup Series today. Battle on for second. Carson Scott was battling with Keith Batson, but now he's slipped back to 4th. Now Austin Mongold side by side with fellow rookie Keith Batson for that spot. And Mongold will move on by, move him up to P2. We talked about JT Bryant being the defending winner of this race. Well, his 2 teammates right now running in the top 5. Dylan Young right now running in the 5th position. Of course, the other teammate, Levi McIntyre, currently running in the lead. Let's jump and find where JT Bryant's currently at. There he is. Right now, running behind Charles Sanford, just ahead of James Qualls. Just a couple spots up ahead. There's a Daytona 500 winner, Kyle Matthews. JT Bryant, keep in mind though, last season when he ended up winning at Las Vegas. It was when the Young Motorsports team were running Dodge Darts. They're now in Ford Fusions. Trouble! That's Emmanuel Hartnett around in front of the field. Everyone scatters to avoid. And then, nope, they didn't all avoid. There's Brandon Gonzalez, Benjamin Miles. Hartnett is upside down. Trent Dunham was collected. Looks like Tim Walsh is well in the 5, and the 97 is not going to come back to rest on all 4 wheels. Instead, it is still on its roof, and the caution flag is out. And we had a lead change. Austin Mongold leads us back to the yellow. Look out. Boy, Benjamin Miles, Tim Walsh. Oh, and Trent Dunham just got plowed by Dylan Young. And they're going to wreck. They're going to wreck more. Are they going to avoid? Oh, nope, there goes Leon Alvarez. Chris Dodd. There was somebody else there as well. Who was that? That was Richardson in the 11. Poteet clobbers in. So does Galligan and Flickager. The points leader, Cody Lamas, was near that too. Oh, there's last week's winner, Zachary Fitzwater, getting a piece of it as he gets into the back of Galligan. Oh my goodness, this track is a monster unto itself. Johnny Gardner's on pit road as well. The caution flag is out. Big time wreck here. Not only an initial wreck, but then a kind of a follow-up wreck. The speeds are high, the smoke is thick, and you just gotta hope and pray you're gonna get your car back down quickly enough and not run into somebody by the time that smoke clears. Austin Mongold leads the way here for the starting segment, at least, of this race. Right now, rookies hold the top 2 spots with Mongold, Batson, then it's McIntyre, Scott, McIntosh. That's your top 5. Let's take a look at a replay of what happened. It all started with 10th in the standings, Emmanuel Hartnett out of turn number 4. And it was actually teammates that got together here. Hartnett into the wall, gets down into his teammate Joseph Srigley, and that's what spins him around right in front of William Brock. Brock goes high, Gardner and Arndt go low. And then let's see who's the first car that's going to get him. I think it might be the one of Trent Dunham right there. Sends him down to Brandon Gonzalez. That's what flips him over. Miles gets into Gonzalez's 23, and then Tim Walsh just kind of blockaded in. Nowhere for him to go. Jessica Shelton hard on the brakes. I think she makes a little contact there with Tim Walsh on the right front. But everybody, for the most part, gets through this. There were maybe at the most about 7 drivers involved in this. There was a little bit of contact as well from Emmanuel Hartnett to Michael Norman that I saw. So I don't know if Norman's going to have any damage sustained or not. But look at that. Upside down. I told you that this track has high speeds. This track's almost a little bit more dangerous than Daytona, to be honest with you, with the impact these drivers take in the wrecks at this kind of a racetrack with the high speeds and the high banking. And we just saw a clear case of that with Emmanuel Hartnett. We never saw a car flip at Daytona. Emmanuel Hartnett and a number of others collecting this one. That's going to bring out the caution flag. Now we're going to look at the replay of what happened after the caution came out, with drivers trying to get away from the scene of the accident and getting caught by the leaders. Alright, so we're looking at Dylan Young, who was running in the 5th position, and this team just does not seem to be able to catch a break. Watch right here. Yeah, just never slowed down. They had already taken the caution flag, so I'm not really sure why they were going that fast still. And then here comes the rest of the drivers are going to come flying in as well. There's Alvarez, never slowed down. Dodd never slowed down. Here comes Richardson, he never slowed down. And I believe Johnny Gardner got involved. I think he spun further up. Jake Baskiger also involved. Cole Baker's got some damage. Wait a minute, was there an incident a little bit further up that we did not see? Oh, yes, there was. Watch here as we're looking at rookie Cole Baker. Right here, Jake Baskinger runs into the back of Baker, who runs into the back of Sanford. Norman then runs into the back of the 59. So we had a stack up there as well. And then look at that shot right there. Trent Dunham and Chris Dodd. And then here comes another shot driver's side door from Richardson. And then it's not over. Not by a long shot. Here comes Dylan Poteet. He's not slowing down. He's still going over 100 miles an hour. Pacing speed here, I believe, is 70. And there you see, gets a shot in the left front. Here comes Sean Galligan here in his return to the Hersheys Cup Series. He gets involved in the stack up, so does Zach Flickinger. Just a pile up here. And look at Cody Lamas. Lamas was right in the middle of all this, as was last week's winner, Zachary Fitzwater, Ryan Madden, all just being able to... Oh, wait a minute, Fitzwater. Oh, yeah, that's right. He did get in the back of Galligan. So a little bit of damage sustained from last week's winner as well. So we're under the yellow for the first time here today, and we may have quite a number of drivers out of the race as a result of this one. Let's go back to green. Green flag ready to come back out here on lap 10 of 41. Austin Mongold the leader over Batson, McIntyre, Scott, and McIntosh. Zach Rogers is a lap down on the inside line. Drivers out of the race after what we just saw take place include Richardson, Dylan Young, Leon Alvarez, Chris Dodd, Trent Dunham, Manuel Hartnett, Brandon Gonzalez, Benjamin Miles, and Johnny Gardner. Battle for the lead between the 95 and the 99. The 39 is not on the lead lap of Zach Rogers. Oh, they were almost 4 wide off that corner. Levi McIntyre back to the lead, but it's all going crazy behind him. Dallas McIntosh, oh, look out. Wow, McIntosh got tight into that corner. Nearly went up and collected Austin Mongold. That was close. Drove it in way too hard to Dallas McIntosh, and now loses second to Mongold, about to maybe lose third place to Carson Scott. And they're still trying to get around that 16 car, who apparently is not able to hold the bottom. Really does not look stable right now. Does the cheese it forward, and oh, trouble, Keith Batson! Batson around. Did he save? No, he didn't. Into the wall, and he just got nailed by somebody. That was Sean Galligan and Jake Baskinger. Caution will wave for the second time here today. Keith Batson, who started on the outside of the front row, gets spun around up into the wall and then gets clobbered by Galligan and Baskinger. We're under caution. Levi McIntyre by 1/100th got Austin Mongold at the line there, and he'll be our leader under the second caution of the day. Not certain why Mongold is still driving on. He's up behind the pace car, but he needs to tuck back in line behind the 99 of Levi McIntyre, who is the current leader. And it looks like Mongold's going to come to pit road ahead of the leaders. I'm not certain what that's about. Anyway, we've got pit stops going on here. Let's take a look and see what happened. Tough break there for Keith Batson. Such high hopes. A fast race car coming into this race, and he becomes our second yellow of the day here at Las Vegas. Well, let's see if we can find out what happened here. 3 wide situation, and Daniel Voiles had the line. Yeah, there was nothing wrong on the part of Daniel Voiles. Keith Batson tried to move low to get to the inside of Zach Rogers, who was a lap down. I guess didn't realize the 26 was there. And Voiles couldn't do anything because he was in the middle 3 wide. He couldn't have moved out of the way. So, boy, just a rookie mistake there by Keith Batson. This being his debut, maybe, not used to racing around the other drivers in a 3-wide situation like that. And there you saw the contact between him and Sean Galligan. And Jake Baskinger getting involved as well. Let's see how Baskinger got collected. Oh, all right, let's see if we can get to a better camera angle here. There we go. There's a good shot. Right there, Galligan hits Batson, then spins downward into Baskinger, and the both of them go up and get the outside wall. So not a very good return for Sean Galligan, the 48 team. Jake Baskinger also, a tough break for him there. His teammates have been having a fairly better start to the season than he has, and keep in mind, Baskinger last season was one of the championship contenders, so yeah, tough break for those two. Keith Batson obviously starting on the outside of the front row, making his debut, was hoping for a lot better, and now finds himself damaged and wrecked, and we still got a long ways to go in this race too. Let's go back green. Well, we'll get ready to go back green. I'm still kind of skeptical as to how they're still allowing Austin Mongold to be the leader when he came down pit road ahead of Levi McIntyre, who was the leader when we went back green, or when we got the caution flag rather. So somehow, some way, Austin Mongold, through some kind of scoring error, is still the leader. McIntyre will line up second, third Carson Scott. Defending champ Anthony McCurry has now worked his way up to fourth. Fifth place is Marie Minobi. And then you've got Dallas McIntosh, Joshua Michaels, James Qualls, Daniel Voiles, and John Arndt. That is your top 10 drivers out of the race after what we just saw. They are the cars of Jake Baskinger, Keith Batson, Sean Galligan, and Jessica Shelton. An engine problem for the 02 car puts her back behind the wall. I'm trying to remember, wasn't there a mechanical failure for the... No, okay, I thought maybe there might be a mechanical failure for the 02 back at Daytona, but there wasn't. Green flag back out here on lap 17 of 41. And I mentioned how coming into this race, the point standings are still obviously very close, with the fact that we're only 2 races in, but there are a number of drivers that were running well in the points that are out of the race or damaged that came in top 10 in the standings. 4th place, James Richardson. 5th place, Leon Alvarez. 6th place, Brandon Gonzalez. Jessica Shelton, who came in 8th. And Emmanuel Hartnett, who brought out the first caution, was 10th in the standings. And they are 3 wide further back. Oh, contact! Oh, man, Levi McIntyre off the nose of Rogers into McCurry, and they saved it. And Joshua Michael says, thank you very much. I'll take that second position while you guys nearly wrecked yourselves. Man, what a save there by Levi McIntyre in the 99. And now McCurry moves to 3rd. Minobi trying to go for 4th. And after all this chaos has been going on, Zach Rogers had a mechanical problem to start this race. Had to come to pit road before even taking the green. He's up to the 28th position. He's the only car 1 lap down, though, right now. James Qualls moving on by. That'll move him to the 5th spot. James Qualls started on the pole last week for Rockingham, UK, but did not have a good run. And the caution flag's out again. Whoa, was that... I thought I saw some smoke down almost to the exit of pit road. Is that really where I saw that? Oh, yeah, Seth Cole. Oh, and Michael Norman. The points leader, Cody Lamas, was involved. William Brock is in it as well. Daniel Voiles, 9th in... Or not 9th. 7th in points. John Cittadino might have been involved. Oh, and Zachary Fitzwater, last week's winner. All crunched up on the front end. And that is 9th in the point standings involved in this one. Joshua Circuley's got some damage. Kyle Matthews got some damage. Yellow flag out for the 3rd time here today. Austin Mongold, the leader. Joshua Michaels pops up to 2nd. Then it's McCurry, Qualls, and McIntyre, your top 5. Leaders will not pit this time. We are now halfway through this race. Let's take a look at a replay of what happened. Well, it starts with the 26 of Daniel Voiles, who was running at the time in the 8th position. Look at how he just slides up off the corner. And Dallas McIntosh had a fender to the outside. And they might have had it saved, but then there was a little bit of contact afterwards between Voiles and Carson Scott. And then here comes the shot from Cody Lamas. I think Kyle Matthews is going to run to the back of the 78. Wow. William Brock and Seth Cole jacking up the Yu-Gi-Oh! Mercedes-Benz. They're Circuley getting a piece of it. There's Fitzwater clobbering Cody Lamas. Michael Norman, John Cittadino involved. Zach Flickinger spins through the grass. I think that his smoke might have been what I saw at the exit of pit road. Look at Cody. Oh my goodness. The 78 and the 76 both clobber each other right there. And ironically enough, those two finished 1 and 2 last week at Rockingham, UK. Flickinger just looped it around, kept going. Not exactly sure who he made the contact with. It might have been the 47 of Circuley. But there's your points leader, Cody Lamas. Wrecked. Michael Norman wrecked. Daniel Voiles, William Brock, Seth Cole. His debut here, wrecked. And there is Fitzwater, who jumped up a number of spots after his win last week. He may fall a number of spots now, as it doesn't look like that 76 car is going to be able to continue. So we have not yet gotten the signal of 1 lap to go. We'll probably get that next time by, but let's take the opportunity to give a full field rundown of the drivers that have survived up to this point. 3 caution flags, a lot of drivers involved in just about every single one of these. The smallest wreck we've had has involved 3 drivers. That was our second caution that involved Keith Batson, Sean Gallagher, and Jake Baskinger. Everything else has been a number of multiple cars involved. We had about maybe 10 to 12 cars involved in our first wreck, and that includes the drivers that plowed into the drivers just off of the, exiting the wrecked scene. And then this one involved about another 10 more drivers, our third caution of the day that we're currently working. Austin Mongold is going to restart as the leader. Joshua Michaels second, Anthony McCurry is third, fourth James Qualls, Levi McIntyre the pole sitter there in fifth. 6th, Marie Minobi. Great run for that rookie. Zach Rogers is 22nd, 1 lap down. 7th place could be John Arndt. JT Bryant, the defending winner of this race, is now up to 8th. Ryan Madden right now runs in 9th. And 10th place is Carson Scott. Second in the point stands. Could take the points lead with the way that he's running. Grayson Acquavito is in 11th. 12th place Dallas McIntosh. Kyle Keith, what a debut race for him. Right now 13th place. Kyle Matthews in 14th. Charles Sanford 15th. Joshua Circuli in 16th, 17th, Zach Flickinger. Joseph Srigley is in 18th, 19th, John Cittadino. Tim Walsh in 20th, 21st, Dylan Poteet. 22nd place, 1 lap down, is Zach Rogers, and also off the lead lap, a lap down, and 23rd is Michael Norman. Drivers out of the race after that incident included Daniel Voiles, as well as the points leader Cody Lamas, Zach Flickinger, Zach Fitzwater, and then Seth Cole, William Brock, and Cole Baker out of the race. A mechanical failure for the 18 car, a header problem. So both of the drivers out of SCBM out of the race. Getting ready to go back green once again, this time on lap 25 of 41. That should give us a total of 17 laps to go. Austin Mongold trying to become the first rookie winner this season so far. 2 races, 2 veteran winners. Green flag back out. We're back underway here at Las Vegas. These drivers not really been given the opportunity to settle into a long green flag run, with the cautions breeding cautions ever since the start of this race. And Zach Rogers wants to get back on the lead lap, trying to get to the inside of Austin Mongold. If he could get by the 95, get another quick caution, Zach Rogers could find himself back on the lead lap. But Mongold on the outside line heading into 3 is going to have the preferred line, get the momentum, and put Zach Rogers in his rearview mirror. Now Joshua Michaels will go to work on getting around the lap machine. James Qualls right behind him there in the 70 car. Now moving into 3rd place is Anthony McCurry. He's kind of caught behind Zach Rogers. Levi McIntyre now going to battle with him for the 4th position. Meanwhile, Joshua Michaels beginning to reel in the race leader, Austin Mongold. We could have a battle for the lead here very shortly. Mongold, of course, looking for his first win of his career and only his 2nd start in this series. Joshua Michaels looking for his 2nd career win, first of the season. His only win came last season when he started on the pole and swept going to the win at Pocono Raceway. Keep in mind, too, that Kyle Matthews with his win at Daytona, Zachary Fitzwater with his win at Rockingham, UK, may have very well locked themselves up spots in the chase for the championship. A win here today could mean that, and Joshua Michaels will blow on by Austin Mongold and take the top position, but he better look in his rearview mirror, because here comes that Steak and Shake Ford of Levi McIntyre. Also, don't want to cast any dispersions, but you might want to take a look a little bit further back. That 22 car of JT Bryant. He knows how to win here, and he is up to the 7th position. As my dog is trying to get my other dog to play. Levi McIntyre now begins to try and reel in Joshua Michaels. How about Ryan Madden? Great run there for the 8 car. There are a couple of drivers out of Sega Motorsports that are having good runs here. Trent Dunham and Sean Galligan are out of the race, but the 8 of Ryan Madden, as well as the 42 of Kyle Keith, having pretty solid days as the battle's on for the lead again. Levi McIntyre to the bottom. Joshua Michaels up top. Inside line will be the preferred line going here into turn 1 out of turn 2. Let's see if Joshua Michaels can counter with the run off the corner. still side by side down the back straightaway, but now into 3. Michaels might have to give way, and Ryan Madden now says, hey, you two race double wide. I'll try and get in here and make it a 3-man fight for the lead. McIntyre clears for the top position. Madden now to second, but Madden might want more going down here into turn 1. Thought about sticking his nose in there, but now thinks better of it, and McIntyre gets a nice run through the center of the corner in that middle groove, and he'll now open up some distance between himself and the U.S. Army Chevrolet. Now, Ryan Madden last season drove full time. He drove the 88 car. However, Ryan Madden never found victory lane. This is a great opportunity for him to maybe pick up his first win of his Hersheys Cup Series career. Same deal for Levi McIntyre, though. McIntyre also never won last season, and he raced in every single race. So you got a couple of drivers here that were kind of coulda, woulda, shouldas last season, and they're trying to close the deal here in the third race of the second season of Hersheys Cup competition. And remember what I was saying about we not being able to settle into a long green flag run? Well, we've been clean and green ever since our restart. So maybe, just maybe, this race is going to end under the green flag. And give me 1 second. My dog has a greeting card in its mouth that I have to get out. Yes, you heard right. A greeting card. Thank you, Deirdre. Thank you very much. Thank you. She was so proud that she was able to give it to me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Whoa! Just coming back here looking at the screen, and Michael Norman, the slower lap machine, getting in the way there for a brief moment. McIntyre disposed of him quickly, though. Michaels does the same, and look at John Arndt in the 24 now up here in the mix. We saw his teammate Carson Scott up here earlier. I don't know where the 38's disappeared to, but John Arndt's now up here in the third spot. JT Bryant fourth, Anthony McCurry fifth is the second back through fifth. Now trying to reel in Levi McIntyre, who's hoping these lap times and these laps tick away really quickly. Right now enjoying about a 7/10 of a second lead between himself and Joshua Michaels. Michaels trying to run him down. JT Bryant now moves into the third spot. Look out, that 22 is on his way. And if JT can get around Joshua Michaels, it's going to come down probably between teammates for this victory. 6 laps to go when they hit the stripe that last time by. 5 to go this next time around. Joshua Michaels cut it down by about 2/10, the gap between himself and Levi McIntyre. The 99 out of Young Motorsports, the 10 out of Rage Motorsports. Who is going to get this? This could come down to the wire here. That time by another 2/10, cut down the gap between first and second place. We'll have to see next time by if JT Bryant closes up the gap. This time he's about a full second behind his teammate Levi McIntyre. Let's see if the gap closes up this time around between first and second and first and third. McIntyre hits the stripe. Michaels hits the stripe. No, that time Levi McIntyre gained about 2 100ths on the 10 car, and he gained roughly 13 100ths on JT Bryant. So Bryant right now is in a bit of a battle with McCrory, Madden, and John Arndt. Not really being able to run the lap times to reel in the 99. The tire wear could be going away too. That could be allowing Levi McIntyre a little bit of an advantage. That time about maybe 3 100ths cut down between McIntyre and Michaels, but the one thing that is not on Joshua Michaels' side right now is time. Next time around, it'll be 2 laps to go. Levi McIntyre trying to hang on, trying to go coast to coast. He hasn't dominated this race. He lost the lead early on to Austin Mongold and Keith Batson, but he's battled back here when it mattered most. He's gotten himself out in front. Now he's trying to hold off a hard-charging Joshua Michaels, but the problem for Michaels is he's chipping too little. He's only chipping about maybe 3 100ths each lap now with the tire wear, and he's only got 1 more lap to work with. White flag in the air for Levi McIntyre. 1 more time around, the gap between himself and Joshua Michaels stayed the same, about 28 100ths. Roughly 3/10 of a second. McIntyre through 3 and 4. Joshua Michaels is nowhere close enough to make a charge. Nice and smooth out of turn 4. Levi McIntyre got the pole yesterday, goes coast to coast, and takes his first checkered flag of his Hersheys Cup Series career here today at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Joshua Michaels will finish in third. JT Bryant there in the make that second for Michaels. JT Bryant will finish the day out in third. It's a 1-3 finish for Young Motorsports here at Las Vegas. Ryan Madden will finish the day out in fourth. John Arndt in fifth. Both their drivers, AS Racing finishing top 10. Fifth place for Arndt, ninth place for Carson Scott. Let's take a look at the official full finisher results from today's race. Rookie of the race, Austin Mongold, was out in front earlier on, finishes 7th. Anthony McCurry, the defending champ, nice run for him in 6th. James Qualls, after the hardships last week at Rockingham, UK, nice run for him in 8th place. And Grayson Acavito will finish in 10th. Acavito could very well be your new points leader heading into next week. A great run for that 66 car. Also great runs there from Marie Minobi in 11th. Kyle Keith in his debut in 12th. How about the two cars of Charles Sanford and Kyle Matthews there? Boy, both of them were damaged. They finished 13th, 14th. Srigley in 15th. And then the rest of your survivors, if you will. McIntosh, Cittadino, Circuli, Flickinger, and Walsh finished last car on the lead lap. Zach Rogers had that early problem before the start of the race. Finished the race a lap down, but still 21st place. Not a bad run from what it could have been. Dylan Poteet also finished off the lead lap in 22nd, and Michael Norman 2 laps down in 23rd. And then everybody else out of the race, most notably the points leader coming into this race, Cody Lamas, finishing in the 25th position. And the drivers that he came in just 3 and 5 points ahead of, Grayson Acavito and Kyle Matthews, both finishing much better than he did. So Cody Lamas will undoubtedly lose the points lead heading to next week at Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's our next stop. Should be a very exciting race there before we pack it up and then go short track racing at Bristol. So Levi McIntyre becomes the third different winner of the season. So now we've got Kyle Matthews, Zachary Fitzwater, and now Levi McAcheese, who has thrown his name into the ring as a potential driver to be battling in this season's chase for the championship. It's also Ford's first win of the season. It's been Chevy, Dodge, and Ford now that have won here in Season 2. Thank you all so much for watching today's race from Las Vegas. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. We'll show you once again your full finish results down through 42nd. Next up, we'll show you your rookie point standings as well as your overall point standings heading into next week, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.